Yes, people, welcome back to the first 11. It is the EFL show, and I'm beyond raging, absolutely beyond raging. I'm about to spend about a 5 minute rant on my players, and my manager. So we'll get into that in a second. But none of us won at the weekend, so I'm presuming that none of us are filled with the joys of life.
Yeah, not really, mate. Not really, but yeah, good to be back on again. Big
RJ,
up.
I will literally come to your house with a machete. I promise you, I will turn the Chainsaw Massacre into Toy Story 1 for you.
No way. No way was it. Was it actually Troy Parrott that scored against you as well?
Of course it was, mate. Who else
Oh
is it going to
God!
Oh,
Why do you
no.
think I'm about to tear into this club? But we'll
Yeah,
start with
it's-
mine, and we'll start with mine, I think, because I've got a lot of anger I want to get out of my system. But before we get into that, make sure you've liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you share it on all your socials as well. Get as many people in here as possible. Right, we're going to start with Argyle because I am sick to my back teeth with this football club. I'm done, right? We played against a team whose player has not scored a professional goal all season, right? And then after 4 minutes, it doesn't even take him a while. It takes him 4 minutes to chuck a goal past our defence. I'm not joking, and I hope this is okay to say it. Our defence is like a prostitute when their legs are open. It's pathetic. We seriously we need to get someone at the back who can speak English and communicate with the other players and actually have the cojones to scream at someone. Because Ensign, you're not it, mate. Please go sit on the bench or go play with some Papa Mache or whatever you want to do. Just be a defender because you're no good at it. Keelan, I mean, you make a lot of mistakes, but whatever. Like, I'm done with you. And Apoku, the best thing you can do is pass the ball into midfield. So if you could learn to learn how to defend, that would just be greatly appreciated by almost everyone watching us.
That comment from Indiana, mind.
and also, if our attackers could, well, actually, not even our attackers, if we could start creating a chance, that would be wonderful. Because right now, it is literally like watching Sheffield United football. It's embarrassing. Like, it is horrific. But that's my rant. Oh, and Ryan Lowe, thank you for not using the words on to the next one, or we'll dust ourselves down. Because if I hear you say that one more time, I swear I may start to like Derek Adams more. And that is something, because Derek Adams also is going to get brought up today because something great happened to him. That was the joyful moment of my life, anyway. But that's my rant on Argyle. You let someone who haven't scored a goal in an entire professional season score after 4 minutes. So well done, lads. Right, on to the next one. We'll just get all our clubs over and done with because we might as well. I mean, you two didn't play much better. I mean, it looks like you couldn't score even in a brothel. But we'll start with Rovers. Great result, 0-0 for you, wasn't it?
Oh, mate, it's just so annoying, especially after we battered Accrington. That's been the same with Rovers. We get a good result against a team that we're not meant to beat, and then it comes to a team around us, and the first half was probably the worst we played. I don't know why we played so bad after just smashing Accrington and getting so much confidence. But yeah, annoying. And then second half, pretty much for probably 30 minutes of the second half, we was all over them. Their keeper made some good saves, but we didn't really have the quality that we had on Tuesday night. And then last 10 minutes, they finally started to go forward because they were literally sat back the whole game. They come here for a draw and they managed to get one, but they nearly nicked it last 10 minutes. Our keeper Joe Day made 2 quality saves. It could have even been a loss, but I mean, a point. I mean, it's decent because if it was Tisdale or Garner, we would have probably lost that game. So I'll take a point at least. I think it's our 7th clean sheet of the season. But yeah, I mean, not the best.
Yeah, I mean, when we need to hold on, we normally concede and let them win. But Aaron, Doncaster had a great performance against Northampton, didn't they? Still, you still confident? I mean, I know Reese is in the comments somewhere. I'll find his comment in a minute, but I know Reese is here to have a nice chat with you. And big up to Reese. I'm excited because right now he's the only one who can actually talk.
Yeah. Let's just say we had the finishing capabilities of trying to stick a donut in a small pipe. We couldn't do it. We can't do it. Yeah, we lost our finishing in that game, to be perfectly honest. I think Northampton came for a 0-0, and that's exactly what they got. And my man of the match would be Lewis Jones, our goalkeeper, our academy homegrown goalkeeper. And this is like the second, third, fourth consecutive game now where he's been our club's man of the match. And, you know, I'm excited for the future of that goalkeeper because he's got such a bright, bright future with the stage he's been pulling off. But from the attacking end, it was just all over the place. It was like trying to organise a piss up in a bar. We can't organise it. We can't do it right. And it's like trying to control a bunch of drunk fools in short dresses and massive, massive wieners in Kookie's nightclub that's now closed down. It is just, you couldn't do it. You couldn't score. You couldn't do any of it. Magic Gomez, I've been saying for weeks, that guy needs to perform better than he's been doing. I know that guy can bring that España flair, but right now he's the Spanish Granit Xhaka. He can't perform without making mistakes. And, you know, there's positive signs around the club. Joe Wright wants to sign a new contract. Tyrese John-Jules is back in 4 or 5 weeks. We know that Reece James wasn't all injured in the Crew game. He came back from the Northampton game, did a good job. And you know what? I've criticised this player for a few weeks in the polite way possible. But I'll give my credit to Cameron John for that game. I thought he had an all right game. It wasn't the best game. It wasn't the worst game. He had an all right game. And he had one of our best chances in the first half, glancing a header, which got tipped over the bar for another corner. And he had the best chance in the second half of the Crew defeat. So I see signs, even though fans online are saying he's this, and this, I see signs that Cameron John can do something at this club. All in all, mate, it was just, we take the point. We got a point over Lincoln because they lost to Rochdale. Good one. And, you know, we take the point. We got a point over Lincoln. We're behind on Hull, but we still have loads of games in hand. Sunderland could drop form at any point. Hull could drop form at any point. Peterborough could drop form at any point.
Do you know what? I actually sort of hope Sunderland don't, because you've blown up a lot.
You know what's
you said a lot of things about them, and I
saw the last 14.
I would love it if Reese was able to come on here at the end of the season and absolutely tear you a new one. I'd love it.
And I'll take it. I'll take every bit of it, because I'm looking at the last 14 games we've got. We're only facing one of the other teams in the top 7 for the rest of this season, and that's Peterborough twice. I know Ipswich has got a game, I think, against Portsmouth in a couple of weeks, and that's the only team out of the top 7 they've got to face. The rest of them have got 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams, but that is not where I'm looking at just. I'm looking at the other games we've got. We've got at least 4 out of the bottom 6 in the relegation battle. We've got at least 4, yeah, including you guys. So we've got 4 out of those 6. So one Achilles heel of this club over the last few years is losing against the rubbish ones and beating the good teams. And that's always been our Achilles heel going into promotion. It was under Grant McCann. It was under Darren Moore. It was under Ferguson. So, and it was even under bloody Paul Dickoff. It was under Dickoff, the Spurs guy. So we need to start beating these teams. We've got Oxford tomorrow night. We've got Gillingham on Saturday. Then we've got MK Dons. Those are 3 huge, huge games, because Oxford are on a good run of form. Well, they're inconsistent now, but they were on a good run of form. They're still in line for the playoffs. Gillingham are a mid-table team, but could do something against us. You never know what. And MK Dons, they've been on a good run of form under Russell Martin, and all 3 of them are away games, and our away form has been worse than our home form. I feel like those 3 games are going to define our season. If we don't get at least 7 points out of those 3 games starting tomorrow night, I feel our automatic promotion race is over and we're going to get playoffs. And you know what? But you know what? I'm happy to say we'll get playoffs, because at least we're making progress compared to previous years. Because if you look at it, I've said for weeks,
I hope by the end of the season I can buy. I hope by the end of the season I can buy you a bottle.
But no, like I said, the top five, I've said this for weeks, the top five in any order is confirmed this season. Hull, Peterborough, Sunderland, Lincoln, Doncaster. In any order, that's the top five this year. It's
Not
sixth
yet.
place with the big. In my
Not
personal
yet.
opinion, that's
I'm very awfully confident, and I
in my
really,
personal
really,
opinion, that is
really
what we're
hope.
looking at here.
Well, if you're wrong at the end, Indiana, make sure you clip that, because I want all ammunition for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
may
I
have done
don't
a
go up
boo-boo
this
there.
season, then I'm going to get. But to be fair, you know what? I think the excuse from Rovers fans, though, if we don't go up this year, and I won't be the one of the ones to say it's an excuse, because you know what? We bottled it. We go again next season if we don't go up. But one of the excuses that fans will use is, Darren Moore left us about a third of the way through the season. Butler's inherited more squad. You've got to give him a summer to get the players he wants and get the loanees in that he wants.
I don't tend to listen to excuses. I've
exactly.
seen enough managers. I've seen enough managers at home park to walk past an excuse. But I'm going to go to some comments quickly because we've got loads in.
Yeah,
Liam saying another poor result for us once again. We didn't play too bad. You must have watched a different game. Must-win game against MK Dons tomorrow. I mean,
please
good
beat
luck,
MK Dons.
we
please. I want to go into good form against that game.
And we probably. I've already said it. I've already said that unless we give them some performance-enhancing drugs, we got no chance. We can't create anything, and scoring a goal is very, very
MK Dons.
Right
we need to get a good run of. We need to get a good run of form on MK Dons. Please, just scrape a 1-0 and make them injure a player.
Saying that's what. RJ, he scored one goal against the worst defense in humankind. I don't think that's anything to get bigged up. Chris saying big up to lads. Niall is in a good mood. Yeah, I'm in a delightful mood. Indiana, that's not helpful. That's not helping the mood. RJ saying 4 minutes. That's longer than Dom. To be fair, it is longer than his rants. He went on. I think it was about a 2-minute rant, and yeah, four for me. Just heard you say none of us won at the weekend. You sure, mate? Yeah. You
well done,
Papa John.
Yeah, well done. You beat a League Two team. Well done. You
beat Tranmere as getting the playoffs for League Two. Well done. Well bloody done to you guys.
That's also not helpful. That's not helpful. This is going to be a good show. Not winning. Ranting.
What did Chelsea do? Did you 0-0 with Leeds?
They've done the same as us.
I mean, RJ's not helping his situation here.
Loves it.
Plus, that Chelsea fan can't say anything. That Chelsea fan can't say anything. They drew 0-0 with Leeds and didn't even score. They played possession football.
They're in the Premier League. I think they can.
They still got a draw with Leeds.
Indiana saying Pirates. That's why all gas.
Indiana, behave, mate. City fan, behave.
He's just mad that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signed a new contract.
Well, I would expect a former Premier League team to be better than 3 teams that have been in the Football League, all of which have been in League Two. So another very helpful comment. A draw is better than a loss. Yeah, RJ, you just wait until you lose your next game. I'm going to destroy you. I fully will destroy him.
0-0 against.
A draw's a point, not 3 points dropped.
Indeed.
Well, aren't you a glass half full? Indiana saying, I think I could actually do that. I hope so. I don't know about you, but this Papa Lee's tastes beautiful.
Wait till the rottenness sets in, and then you'll start crying to me next season if we go up and you stay down. So please keep your Papa John's in your box and pack it off back to Domino's because it's not good enough.
I mean, Daniel, are you sure you're a Chelsea fan, not a Sunderland fan? Lee Sunderland won this season EFL trophy. Sorry, Salford lads fans.
Well done, Salford. Well done to Salford for getting rid of
they beat Pompey, and I'm delighted about that.
Well done for second Kenny Jacket. Well done.
Everyone smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the stream on all your socials. Let's get as many people in here as possible. Charlie's not impressed with you, Aaron. Don't disrespect.
No, he's a City legend. He just wasn't our legend. He's rather a plain legend, not our legend.
All I'll say is my advice to you: don't anger Charlie. He'll come at you. If Salford have any fans, of course, about 1,500, if that.
Yeah, not many.
The Castle United 2 are included in that.
Newcastle called it the pizza trophy. It is.
Well, Newcastle call everything the pizza trophy because they can't get a trophy in 50 years.
No, it is the pizza trophy. I mean, it was sponsored by Papa John's.
Oh yeah, but Newcastle probably called it because they want to see a trophy.
Papa John's is finished, it'll be class Domino's.
Yeah,
be
probably.
Domino's next.
Or
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
Lee Bowie's go.
Imagine being like Salford. Yeah, I know that one. Imagine being like Salford celebrating a trophy for one day less than. I mean, they won a trophy. Congratulations to them, and they couldn't play last year because of the pandemic. So it is fair.
And you know what? Salford's manager is one of our former modern-day legend midfielders, Richie Wellens. So well done to Richie Wellens.
I can't stand him, Richie Wellens.
That's why he's our player. That's why he's our player.
Indiana saying clipped up, including goat noises. I mean,
quality.
Brutal. Imagine your manager being Steve Bruce.
Imagine your manager being Lee Johnson.
Better than Steve Bruce. He's better than Steve.
Nah, he's not, mate.
Nah.
Lee Johnson, mate. You're having a laugh, mate. I can't stand that.
Have you seen Steve Bruce?
Mate, have you seen Lee Johnson, mate?
Yeah, Charlie. I'm not too keen on Lee Johnson either. Don't worry about that. But mate, Steve Bruce. I genuinely think you could literally dress a mannequin in a bin bag, and that would do better tactics than Steve Bruce.
I wouldn't let Steve Bruce near the keep-mo. Neither would I let Granit Xhaka or Hector Bellerin near the keep-mo because they're not good enough.
That's 3 guys that Doncaster have to sign in the summer. I would personally.
I'm not letting Steve Bruce anywhere near this club because we'll go down to the Conference North.
That would be fun to watch.
Conference.
just us versus Hampton and Richmond Borough every weekend.
Let's talk Swindon. Another great result for them this week. Lost 3-1 to Swindon.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. Nothing special. It was just 50-50, to be honest.
Gillingham is definitely.
Yeah, it's a good win for Gillingham because they're our opponents this week on Saturday. So, they're going to be up for it on Saturday. They're going to be up for their fixture tomorrow as well. So, I think Swindon oh my God, Steve Bruce in trunks, the nightmare I don't want to see.
Make sure that you send that picture to Aaron. He really wants to see it.
But no, Gillingham, you know what? I think they're not going to challenge promotion. They're not going to go down. I think it's just a healthy mid-table finish. But you know what? It's Steve Evans. Sometimes, what did you expect?
Well, yeah, it's Steve Evans, really. I mean, there's not much more to say. Obviously, the big news is Lee Bowyer's gone from Charlton. They drew 1-1 at Shrewsbury, didn't they? So
surprised about. I'm not going to lie. I'm really surprised about that because I would have thought they'd have stuck with him to the end of the season at least. But you know what? The biggest surprising thing is the fact that he's now going to manage Gillingham in league. He's going to take them to League One, in my opinion. I think Gillingham's down. I think Birmingham, is down and out. I think that with Rotherham's game in hand, I know the manager came out.
They got 4 or 5 games in hand as well, Rotherham.
Yeah, and the manager came out and said they're not Man City. They haven't got the depth in squad and they're not going to do that. But with Rotherham's game in hand, they've got the perfect chance now to really separate the bottom 3 from the rest of the table. So, and I've said for a couple of weeks now, my picks to go down are Birmingham, Sheffield and Wickham. And if we do go up, that makes it all even sweeter because for people that don't know the history, obviously Sheffield Wednesday's got our old manager now. And Birmingham, they sent us down on the last day of the 13-14 championship season, which was our last season in the championship for now. So if they both go down,
Birmingham have now become my second favourite team.
Yeah. But
what other teams have upset you? I'm starting to build an agenda.
I know. But
write a list to me. I know who I need to.
I'm keeping note on Microsoft Office just to see how many agendas you've got. But looking at Charlton Athletic,
Harry Maguire, Steve Bruce. I've got a few. Derek Adams.
But yeah,
That's
from a
pretty
Charlton
crazy.
perspective, from a Charlton perspective, I think it's just I don't think they were my pick to get promoted this season anyway, because they were under that transition period, getting the new owner in halfway through the season, and I think it's just a case now of if they bring in the right manager, I see Charlton being up there as a promotion contender next season. Whether we're in the league or not, I see Charlton being up there next season. If they bring in the right manager, if they bring in Aitor Karanka, God forgive them. But if Charlton bring in the right appointment, an attacking manager, someone that can work well with the board, someone who can work with the style of players. I've heard that Johnny Jackson's going to be taking charge to the end of the season. So good luck to Johnny. A continuity appointment like what we did with Andy Butler. So a continuity appointment is always the best option. For the end of the season at least, and then we'll see what happens. Whether Johnny Jackson gets it permanently next season or not, we don't know. But I would like to see them bring in a brand new manager like a Danny Cowley or something to take the club forward. And it'd be interesting because I think Danny Cowley, he's been on a great consistent run of winning stuff with different teams, whether it's getting 2 promotions in 3 years with Lincoln, getting the playoffs beyond all the expectations in the non-league with Braintree before that. So Danny Cowley has the history of getting close to certain standards, and keeping Huddersfield up was a great achievement for Danny Cowley and Nicky Cowley as well. So I'd like to see him come into the Charlton setup and work with Sangard and create this environment where Charlton could be back in the Championship in a few years' time, because I think they've got the right boardroom now. They just need the right manager and the right kind of playing style to take them up a level, because Charlton can get back to those heights again. Now they've got rid of Lee Bowyer, they can go with those heights again. But from a Birmingham point of view, I think Bowyer's a former playing legend for Birmingham. So, again, a continuity appointment of some sort. But I think Birmingham's relegated, in my opinion. I think Birmingham's down. But for Charlton, it's going to be interesting next season.
I'm just wondering when we started talking about Championship. Indiana, you forgot to tell me this was a Championship one as well. A couple of comments. Some people talking about my agendas. I do have a few. Apparently, Ethan Laird is the best left back in League One.
Debatable.
Maybe.
Reece James.
Charlie saying Matt Macy. I have a fat ass Matt Macy agenda. That is a fact.
Oh, mate. I mean, it's crazy
Niall has an Arteta agenda in his closet United fan. I'm really not. I mean, if I was going to support anyone in the Premier League, it would be Man City. At least that's an easy life. Charlie wasn't a Lee Johnson. Wasn't Lee Johnson on the better side of Bristol? I mean,
no, you got room to develop. You got room to develop with Joe Barton.
No, plus he bottled going up about 5 years in a row. So yeah, nice one.
it's beautiful. Reese is saying, Aaron, check your messages on Facebook if you can. Send you something important.
Not got a notification, but I've got a feeling it's going to be someone eating a Papa John's or something.
I have a feeling it's going to be a Papa John's as well.
In which case, stick your Papa John's and send it back to Domino's, because it's not worth it.
I should have really got a picture of Papa John's pizza and put it in the background. No more coffee and Red Bull. I'm not sure who that's directed to.
I think that's to Aaron. Because he just chats.
No, I'm low on orange and pineapple, so I need to fill up after this before 9 o'clock. Might get John Smith out the fridge.
No one can call Lee Johnson names. Look at his record. With us, he's a top manager. Got praise off Pep and will be in the Prem with us.
Of course, I was going to say that.
I mean, Ryan Lowe got praise off Jurgen Klopp. That doesn't mean that he's the greatest manager ever to have step foot on the football pitch.
Yeah. Darren Moore got praise off AFTV. Doesn't mean he was going to take us any far, does it?
It's not a Papa John's. It's something serious. Oh, we sent you a picture of Domino's.
Right. Okay.
Lots when breaking. I mean, I don't know why I put that comment up. I think it was directed, do bears drink coffee or something? I don't know. Who does Jay Adams play for? Premier League side called
Southampton.
Yeah,
I was going to say as well. I know. I was going to say about the Lee Bowyer. Obviously he's resigned, but it's pretty interesting because we've actually got Charlton away tomorrow, and I was just going to say 2 stats which isn't good for us, right? The last time we beat Charlton at the Valley, 63 years ago, and we haven't I know it's crazy, and we haven't
Brutal.
beaten Charlton in 11 years, so
I
that's
mean,
gonna
come on,
that's gonna be
come
interesting.
on,
And
Charlie.
you also got the new manager bounce for Charlton Athletic as well, which won't be on your side either. Well,
Yeah,
possible
exactly.
new
So
manager bounce.
there's
New manager
there's
bounce could go
three
either way, but
things.
the stats do take it Charlton's favour. But records are there to be broken. We hadn't won
Yeah,
at
let's
Oxford
hope so.
United Stadium in I think it's since 1963. Records are there to be broken.
I mean, that is poor. That is
I
poor.
know. But to be
even
fair,
by
the
you,
90s we were under
even by
Ken Richardson,
Doncaster,
who, to be fair
even by
though,
Doncaster standards,
in the
that's
late
poor.
90s, though, we were under Ken Richardson, who burnt the stand down. So it wasn't exactly the best years before the notice.
Jesus.
Yeah, we had a proper on-pitch funeral at Colchester against Colchester and everything on the last day we're in the Football League.
Maybe the manager got a little bit upset, or whoever it was.
Matt Weaver's an absolute wanker.
Okay, strong words. I just want to say that everyone's opinion is their own, and I quite like him now. Who was that guy you didn't like?
You what?
Weaver,
what
it?
you didn't like?
Is it Weaver?
Mark
Weaver.
Weaver was Ken
My new
Richardson's
favourite
puppet. He had him on strings for months. He had him on strings for months.
My new favourite person. What's a manager bounce? It's when you fake.
What's a manager bounce?
Yeah, it's when you fake being good and don't score. This means the Gas will win. I mean,
mate, I hope so. I hope
Maybe.
so. I'm praying, mate. I'm praying right now as we speak.
What does a manager bounce? What's a manager bounce? Steve Bruce when he falls over.
Yeah.
That is a good one. Let's talk about a team that probably is going to go up, and that's Hull. Lewis Potter's a good player. He's a
my God! Player. And to think he was on like really inconsistent contract talks, and the fact he wanted to sign for a certain like amount, which that's it's legal to do that, but the owner was like, no, you sign for a shortened amount than what you want. And they were going back and forth with contract talks, and as soon as they got that sorted, he turned into a completely different player from this for the rest of this season so far. He's completely been on form, and if Hull don't get automatic promotion with Sunderland or Peterborough or Lincoln, then I really don't see how Hull. Well, to be fair, no, I do see why Hull City might not have done it, because Grant McCann's not exactly the world's best coach. He can have his off days, he can have his great days.
You've just mentioned 4 other teams that could go up with them, so it's not like it's not exactly season. Like it's a 2-horse race. Like
it's like that DreamWorks animation film. It's open season, and I think that overall, if Hull don't go up anyway, they're automatically go through the playoffs. You've got to sack Grant McCann at the end of the season, because Hull are in a position now where they could literally be champions. I know there's a few teams still in it, but they are in a prime position now where they could go for top 2 or go for the title. If they don't do that and slip into third, and they don't go through the playoffs ahead of the likes of us or Peterborough or whoever, then they have to sack Grant McCann, because he's clearly not progressing them.
No, they won't. They won't sack. They won't sack him anyway.
You've just mentioned like Peterborough, Sunderland, even Lincoln. Even I wasn't going to mention you. Even Lincoln. Like these are good football sides who.
Oh yeah, I know that, but it's just the fact that it's so open and they bottle it with the games in hand they've got.
But that's not bottling it. That's just accepting that towards the top of League One this year, there's a lot of good teams around.
I know that, and
it's going to be interesting.
I get that, but the reason why I say sack Grant McCann at the end of the season if you don't get promoted is because there's been times this season during the inconsistencies where I've seen results that feel like the Championship last season when they were having these really bad games, and it felt like a rinse and repeat from times over the last season. And the reason why I say sack Grant McCann is because you don't want to go through a cycle where you're going through the same rinse and repeat. I mean, if they don't get promoted this year, at least you give McCann one more season. If they don't go up the next season, then you start thinking about sacking him. But I would say sack him at the end of the season if you don't go up, because Hull expect nothing but promotion.
No, you can't sack him though, because I mean, it's obviously going to be tough, but I mean, it was a good win for them. Obviously, now they just need to keep the consistency.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, throughout the season, they've had.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy. Obviously, throughout the season, they've had pretty they've had some inconsistent form, but obviously top of the league now. I know they've played more games than other teams, but I'd rather have played the games than have games in hand, because like like Doncaster, they've last 2 games they haven't won against 2 pretty poor teams, so it's better to have more games played. But obviously, like you said, that Lewis Potter is a good player.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's got nine goals in the league and 2
Chris
other
makes
goals.
a good comment here. When relegated, it's hard to come back up.
Yeah, it is. Look at Sunderland. Look at Sunderland.
Exactly. And to be fair,
Wigan.
Another reason why.
The only team I remember doing it recently in terms of in the Football League is actually Plymouth Argyle, when we went down and straight back up because we
same as us. We done it. We done back to back.
Yeah, and I also see Norwich City when they were under Glenn Roeder, and then they finished with Brian Gunn. They got relegated from the Championship on the last day, and then they came straight back up as Champions League 1. But the reason why, and the main evidence why I would go behind possibly McCann getting sacked if they don't get promoted this year, is we are in a disposable business. If you don't achieve results in the first year or so, but don't forget, McCann was there last season as well. Even though they got relegated, they were there last season, and they were a former Premier League team a few years ago. It's a disposable business. If you're not going to get the results in the first year or two, you're going to get the sack. And that's why I sort of think McCann might possibly, not definitely, but if they don't go up, they might possibly sack him.
You can't sack him. Yeah, but you can't sack him, though, because they've had a good season.
You know what? I don't think they won't sack him, but it's a disposable industry. If the Doncaster manager doesn't get promoted this season, I think they should sack him as well.
Yes,
because he's interim anyway. He's interim anyway. He's been offered the job permanently if he does well at the end of the season. But if he doesn't do a good job, then we're going to get a new manager next season, whoever it is.
If you don't get promoted, you definitely shouldn't get that. I just don't think you should sack anyone. That's the issue at too many clubs. You sacking managers if you actually sort of wait and build a plan.
And I get that.
Manager, you go on.
If Hull don't want to do that, and they want to keep McCann and build on him, then it's going to have to be setting an example to the rest of the Football League that we're not in a disposable industry anymore. We need to set an example as to staying with a manager and being loyal to a manager instead of doing what seems to be happening in a disposable industry where you sack managers every 2 years.
It will just prove that people football's a bit different at the moment, like especially financially with COVID and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, literally every team is like, I mean, especially in League One, even Hull, the amount of money they've lost like over the years, and the same as any other club. I think, like Aaron said, they could sack him, but there's no point. Like, who are they going to get in? Who are they going to get in?
And that's the argument I would say against sacking McCann. That's why I would keep him, because who would you get in? But you know what? It's like you said, the financial impact of COVID has hit League One and League Two hard. And who's given us no support? Rick Parry in the Football League. Go and suck it.
You literally just said sack. I bet.
No. I said that's the reasons why.
Let's move on.
Sacking McCann. You might be saying sacking because it's. No. I'll just explain it in short, because I'd be for the sacking of McCann because it's a disposable industry and they might want results as soon as possible. However, I'm against sacking McCann because of the financial impacts of COVID and also the fact that they want to stay loyal to a manager. I've got reasons for and against. I'm trying to balance the argument of my own argument.
Yeah, I was going to say as well, just before we go on as well, make sure to keep hitting the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, check out our free channels as well, which is just down below.
Yeah, I'll put it on the different view at the end so you can actually really see all our channels. Indiana suggested moving it to the triple screen, so it looks better. I'll say that much. But moving on, it does look good.
Yeah.
But moving on, Lincoln didn't have a great weekend.
It's a good win.
They got dominated by Rochdale. Absolutely dominated.
It's a very good win for Rochdale. Unfortunately for us, because like I said, we don't beat teams around us, then other teams are going away. But they haven't won in a while as well, Rochdale. So it's a very good win. But same old Lincoln, though, innit? It's inconsistency. I don't think they're going up. Not even from playoffs. I think they're way too inconsistent.
I was in a football stream during my game and Lincoln's game. It was during the Northampton game, and I was in a stream watching the reactions of this Lincoln fan while it was happening. And from what I was hearing and what I saw in the highlights back again, it was just Rochdale had better chances. Lincoln were just getting dominated off the park. The one shining light for Lincoln City is Morgan Rogers.
He's class.
That goal was Premier League quality goal, and that's the kind of quality you expect from a guy like Morgan Rogers. I've got no doubt in my mind. In 5 or 6, in maximum 5 or 6 years, he'll be in this Man City squad, guaranteed, because he's the kind of quality, the youth quality. Imagine Morgan Rogers playing with the likes of Phil Foden next to him or alongside him in the attack. That is long term. So dangerous. But you know what? I'll give credit to Rochdale because Brian Barry Murphy set them up in that formation to play Lincoln off the park and counter-attack when they need to. And they counter-attacked really, really well. And the one thing I'd say with Lincoln they need to improve on in their next game, they can't dawdle on the ball. It is like me going to a lion's cage and just trying to dangle a piece of steak through the bars. I'm going to get my hand chopped off. You can't be dangerous off the ball and on the ball because you're going to lose it, and you're going to lose it in dangerous situations. I can't go through the lion's cage and feed him mistakes, otherwise I'll get my hand chopped off by his teeth. So Lincoln can't move dangerously on and off the ball. They've got to learn to do better with that if they're going to keep pushing for promotion. And like I said to the Lincoln fan on the stream, in my personal opinion, after that result, Lincoln's automatic hunt over. Playoffs still on.
Moving on, Blackpool had a pretty boring game against Fleetwood. That finished 0-0. Apart from Blackpool had like 24 shots, so they'll probably be kicking themselves.
Blackpool should have won that.
That's all. All I need to say is Blackpool had 24 shots compared to Fleetwood 6, and you know how the game's gone. Badly for Blackpool, really.
And Fleetwood fans are all on social media thinking that they should have got 3 points out of that when they weren't even the best team.
Yeah, it's very weird.
I was pretty surprised as well because they usually have a good record against Fleetwood as well. And obviously these are the sorts of games. There's been a few other games with Blackpool recently as well. With Wimbledon at home where they conceded late and they're just not finishing their chances. And if they want to get in the playoffs, that's what needs to happen because they're pretty good defensively. They just need to finish the chances.
Yeah, lion cages and donuts in pipes, League 1 and 2 stream. It's okay. I was going to say something when I was talking about Argyle, but less said about that, the better. I was going to give them some advice, but I didn't know if I was allowed to advertise illegal drugs on the stream.
Get them to smoke some more of that marijuana that you said last week.
Marijuana. I now want them to do a line so that they can actually go and do some work. You know what? At least they might start the house with a bit of energy. But Lampard's wife gave birth to a baby boy called Mason Mount, I think. Is it Mason Mount? I don't know.
Probably.
We'll find out.
It has to be, surely.
Yeah.
Mason Lampard. What a name.
But
Mason
let's
Mount
talk
Lampard.
Burton Albion. It took 34 minutes for Hemmings hat trick.
How Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank hasn't got manager of the month, I do not know. But thank God, because it's the manager's curse. So Peterborough might go on a bad run now.
Oh,
Duncan.
It was Peterborough. Hopefully they go on a run now where it's the manager's curse. I'm hoping, and that's kind of the reason why I'm glad about it, because Hasselbank has taken Burton Albion up to new heights. And in my opinion, I think they'll achieve a way better finish next season than they will do this season. I think that, Burton could be one of the underdogs for getting in or near around the playoff spots with the kind of manager they're working under.
It's just crazy because even before Christmas, everyone was like, "Oh, Burton are done." Then they go and bring in Floyd Hasselbank, and even then he made like 11 loan signings in January, and he's completely transformed them. It's crazy. And bearing in mind,
crazy. They were a point bottom of the league in January, and now they're like 3 or 4 points off of 18th, I think, or 19th. 2 months later, it's It's an unbelievable progress, and I give congratulations to Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and what they've done with that squad.
I was going to talk a bit about Kane Hemmings getting a hat trick within 34 minutes. I thought
He's
that
such
deserved.
an underrated
I'm
talent.
still shocked.
I
I
thought that deserved a little bit of credit. I mean, I get Hasselbank's done a good job, but I don't think we should just gracefully skip over that.
No, it's a
Kane
good
Hemmings, I swear to God, is an underrated talent, and he would fit at any League One club. He would go into any League One team in the highest level because he's such an underrated talent. He could pick up goals from anywhere, and he's that kind of striker or that kind of attacker that any team would need to have just in case. Because Kane Hemmings is just that kind of talent that you could see him bag goals in consistent games. He's just been an unrecognisable player from previous years. He's just outshone any other striker in teams that are even higher up than Burton Albion. He's outshone every other striker nearly in this past week or so. So
scored last week against Peterborough, so it
was brilliant. He made Peterborough look like bloody Bury, and they're out of existence. I'm sorry to Bury fans. I'm really sorry because you deserve better as a club, but he made Peterborough go out of existence last week.
What is wrong with Bury? Why do you keep going on at him like that? That is disgusting.
No, there's nothing wrong.
Ban him now. Indiana,
the reason why I said that is because he made Peterborough United go out of existence. I don't want Bury to go out of existence, but he put Peterborough United out of existence last week, Kane Hemmings.
Just brutal to Bury fans.
Very brutal.
Well done to AFC. The thing is, though, that's not because they've got AFC Bury, and AFC Bury's a better club than Bury run by Steve Dale.
You know what we mean. And Bury fans, if you are watching, me and Charlie still like your club, but even if Aaron wants to use it to knock people down, I love
it. AFC Bury did a wonderful job rising from the ashes.
Why didn't you use like Rushden and Diamonds or something, or Darlington?
Because that's disrespectful to Rushden and Diamonds and Darlington.
It's not disrespectful to Bury.
No. That's what I mean,
I've
though.
stumped him there, haven't I? we'll move on before you do. We'll move on.
Clip this. I've been blocked.
We'll move you. We'll move on before you insult any more Bury fans. The last game that we'll cover in League One is MK Dons and Accrington. I promise Aaron will try not to use a Bury analogy here. O'Reilly getting a 92nd minute winner. I mean, not too bad, is it?
Yeah, very good. Very good win. I mean, Accrington on a bit of a poor run of form. Obviously, they have got a few injuries in their squad, but it's a good win for MK Dons. They've had a few poor results lately, so it was good to get back. Also, there's a player, I can't remember his name. He's a youngster, come through the youth academy at MK Dons. He got 3 assists. I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name, but he's a really highly rated player. And he got 3 assists as well.
Sorinola.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he got 3 assists.
It's not just because I've got BBC Sport next to me on the left, but yeah, Sorinola.
Anything to say on the MK Dons Accrington match?
Well, first thing I will say is Sorinola. If we keep No. One thing I will say, first of all, about Sorinola is if he keeps this up and keeps showing the potential he's got, he could be just as big of a successful academy star at MK Dons than Della Ali, and look where he's gone at the minute. So I think with Sorinola, I think he's got the potential now to open up the door to new horizons. And I think from an MK Dons perspective, they're in a project, they're building under Russell Martin, and I think it's going to take a couple of years to build the right squad to get back into the Championship. But you know what? MK Dons are in a project, and that's they've got the stadium of a Premier League team, but they've got the potential to try and get as close to that level as possible if they just keep building. I think just don't get rid of Russell Martin after bad seasons, because you can build something under this manager. But from an Accrington perspective, I think it's just, to be fair, it was 2-0 up and then Accrington came back 2-2. So it's a good fight back by Accrington, but then they just collapsed right at the end with that 90th minute winner from O'Reilly. So from an Accrington perspective, I think it's just, I don't really see them getting playoffs if they're going to keep going on this run. I think just go again next season. There could be the underdog story of next season. But from an MK Dons perspective, a respectful finish, and then they can build on next season. But yeah, good result all around, and we'll see what John Coleman has to do because Accrington Stanley, who are they exactly?
I was going to say one thing quickly about Accrington. I don't know if any of you seen it, but obviously a couple of weeks ago we was on about their 2 strikers being linked away, and Brentford have been linked with Charles, who plays for them. He's got 16 goals this season, and Accrington signed him from Southport on a free.
I'll tell you something now. If Brentford's getting rid of Ivan Toney, that is the perfect replacement to bring in to replace Ivan Toney, because you've got to look at Brentford over the last few years. I know this is not a championship thing, but you've got to look at what they've done. They brought in Neil Maupay, got rid of him. Brought in Louis Watkins, got rid of him. Brought in Ben Rama, got rid of him. Toney, got rid of him. If Charles comes in and does just as good as the rest of them on past records, you could see Charles playing for like an Aston Villa or something like that, or a Brighton or somewhere like that. So for Charles, if he's been linked with Brentford and he ends up going to Brentford in the summer, my advice to him would be just keep doing what you're doing. Because if you keep doing what you're doing, look at the past success with Brentford's attackers. The door is completely open for your value to triple into the double figure of millions. Your potential is open. So, and who's the other striker again? Well, Charles, it's Bishop, isn't it?
Yeah, Colby Bishop.
If I was a championship club that's trying to fight for the playoffs at least, like a Barnsley or something like that, or a Bournemouth or something like that, look at Bishop. Look at him, because you've got a clinical attacker just waiting to be bought. And the sad thing is, that's what League One feels like sometimes. It feels like an open market.
I'm sure every Accrington Stanley fan is delighted by you putting their players on the shop window, Aaron.
Same as the Bury fans.
Any other fans you want to annoy today? We'll put his Twitter up in a minute. You'll be able to find him. You'll be able to find him. But let's move to League Two, and we'll try not to insult many of their clubs. Leyton Orient, it finished 1-1 with Scunthorpe. I mean, it wasn't the greatest game of all time.
It's just been pretty poor game. Both teams have had, especially Leyton Orient. Earlier in the season they were doing well. I'm pretty sure they was up there in the playoffs at one stage, but it's been an awful second half of the season. I think they're down by the bottom, aren't they now? Because they've been on such bad form. And then Scunthorpe, they were a League One team, and then over the years they've just got worse and worse. I mean, I think they're still up there or like mid-table. But yeah, I mean, 1-1, not really much to say, is there, about that game?
Yeah, I'd probably say the same. I think for Scunthorpe, it's a point clearer to safety. And it's just, I think, again, like I've said this for a couple of weeks now, about Leyton Orient with Joby McAnuff. It's going to be a project. It's going to take a couple of years to see what happens, but for Leyton Orient, again, for them, it's a point close to safety. So we'll see what happens for the rest of their season. But I think if I can read your mind and know what fixture we're coming to next, because that Chris guy's a Carlisle fan, so I know he's going to come with some excitement looking at the fixtures for today. But yeah, Leyton Orient's a project. Scunthorpe safe.
You have read my mind, because I literally just went to Sky Sports and did it in fixture order. Apart from Argyle, I wanted to move them right to the top so I could get my rant over and done with. But yeah, we are talking Carlisle next, and they were on a bit of bad form, but absolutely demolished Bradford.
Wonderful win.
3-1 demolition derby. A very good performance.
Yeah. And you've got to look at, the way that they did it was a complete and utter demolition of that team. I think you could tell by the way that Bradford just got a consolation goal at the end. It was originally 3-0. They didn't keep the clean sheet, unfortunately. But you know what? For Carlisle, that could be the win that turns their season. If they're still in the playoff hunt by now, this could be the win that turns their season. But from a Bradford, from a Bradford perspective, I know Bradford fans are happy about their ownership, and I get that. With Bradford, for me, since they've been in League Two, I felt like they've underachieved from past years because you've got to remember this side used to be in the old Barclaycard Premiership. They were in the Championship. They were in League One, and they were a decent team in League One before they were in that relegation fight. They were fighting for promotion a couple of times. So, and they've got the stadium of the Premier League capacity. So they're a wonderful team, but in my opinion, they're underachieving. So if they're going to do anything, and they've got these two managers in now permanently, if they're going to leave or if they're going to go on a bad run and get sacked by the end of the season or next season, they need to make an appointment that's going to take them back to the glory days and back to where they should be, in my opinion, which is competing at least the third level, maybe even the second level of English football. But from a Carlisle point of view, yeah, it's a point close to playoffs. But for Bradford, it's the lower mid table. They're just outside that relegation picture. So from Bradford, I think it's just keep it safe and go again next season. But I don't know with Bradford. I think it's just the need to try and find a way of getting back up, and at the minute there's no signs for me, in my opinion. I see Bradford getting promoted at some point in the next couple of years.
Yeah, 100%. A couple of comments here. Carlisle have to push on now. No point getting giggly, having a cup of tea and biscuits. Have to keep it up now. Brilliant win. I wasn't confident at all going into the game. Indiana saying who's been in League Two the longest and who's been in League One the longest. I don't know.
We definitely haven't been in League One. I don't know, actually, because we've been in League One. I think we got relegated from the Championship in 2014, but we did get relegated to League Two for a season. So I think we've been in League One now 3 or 4 years, because I think we brought...
I'd say Gillingham.
We've got
Gillingham have been in League One the longest.
Or
I'd say Gillingham,
yeah, I was going to say Oldham because, well, it was Oldham because they were in League One for years. They were in League One for about 12 years. But then obviously they got, I'd probably say Gillingham. They've been in there about 7, 8 years now.
They've been in there a while. And in League Two,
probably
Cheltenham.
Yeah, Cheltenham. Yeah, well. Yeah, when did they get promoted back from the conference? About 4 seasons ago. But or Newport have been in there a while.
Yeah, Newport's been there a while.
Yeah.
I've just had a look. The longest in League One is joint Gillingham and Peterborough. When they came down to the division in 2012-2013. Morecambe's been in League.
Know our shit.
Yeah. And Morecambe's been in League Two the longest. They went in the 2006-2007 season, promoted from the Conference Nationals. So if Morecambe get promoted, if Morecambe go up this year, automatically go through the playoffs, it's a long way. It's a long way out of League Two.
That would be mental.
I mean, but me and Charlie, I swear I mentioned Morecambe, but we got the Gillingham one right. So Indiana trying to test our knowledge, and we pass with flying colours. Daniel's saying hope Bradford get relegated.
Yeah, because they beat them because they done Chelsea. They were 2-0 down. Remember that FA Cup game when they were 2-0 down and they won 4-2? That's why he's probably said that.
To be fair though, could you imagine if they don't progress? Could you imagine Notts County versus Bradford City in the Vanarama National League? I couldn't even imagine that with the stadium capacities they've got.
Nah, Bradford won't. Bradford won't go down.
They'll only go down if they do a Leyton Orient and get like a Pachetti or someone, and they get the club relegated in 3 years with poor ownership. That's the only way I see Bradford going down. And I hope that doesn't happen, because we don't deserve any more terrible, moronic tool cases as owners of football clubs. Like Steve Dale. I support you, Bury Football Club. I support you.
I was going to say Bradford were doing all right before the Carlisle game. They were unbeaten in quite a few games, but like Chris said, Chris was probably buzzing because he always supports me on my channel and says about Carlisle, so I'm pretty happy for him. Pretty happy for him winning.
Yeah, same with me as well. Morecambe being in League Two longest, I think you are correct.
Yeah,
Carlisle away to Mansfield tomorrow, one of the Carlisle crucial games in hand. Tomorrow must win for Carlisle. We do that 6 pointers behind playoffs.
I see Carlisle winning that.
Indiana saying sounded like Google to me. Nah, because I use my phone for lighting and I stream off my tablet.
Same here. My phone's there for lighting.
and I stream off my iPad, and my TV ain't connected to Google. So Nice try,
Yeah.
but send us
Yeah,
another
Aaron's the
question.
only.
We'll rinse it.
Yeah, Aaron's the only
Yeah,
one
he's
using his
the only
laptop.
one he'll Google it. But I do want to move on briefly because if not, we're going to struggle to get loan watching. Exeter lost 1-0 and in the 91st minute, so unlucky scumbags.
Well
Oldham,
done, Cheltenham, because they've gone top of the league now. So well done, Cheltenham.
Yeah, Oldham
crazy.
absolutely. Oldham just absolutely capitulated. Oh, it was
Keith
absolutely
Kroll,
horrific.
They
They were 2-0 up. They were 2-0 up, and they completely got torn apart like a new arsehole. Absolutely torn apart.
It was
awful,
pretty bad
result. Awful result to them, but I just want to say big up to ex Rovers player Andy Williams for getting the winner for Cheltenham as well. What a guy!
Ex Donny Rovers player as well. Ex Donny Rovers player. Well done, Williams. And Alfie May as well. Alfie May and Matty Blair as well. Well done to you guys.
Yeah.
Bolton beating Port Vale 1-0. A good win for them. See where it takes them in
Port
the
Vale's
league.
Port Vale's in a little bit of trouble, but I wouldn't say they're going to be relegated. So that's going to be between South and Grimsby and Barrow. But Port Vale's in a little bit of trouble. They need to come back next season bigger and better. For Bolton, on the other hand, great win. I think if they do go up this year, then maybe this is the start of maybe seeing Bolton back in the top flight in a few years' time.
Yeah, very important win. Obviously, they did have a pretty poor start to the season, didn't they? But now they've brought in Madison and they've got Owen Doyle. I mean, if you feed him goals, he'll get you loads of goals and I hope they come back up. Because if fans are back, I'd love to go to Bolton away again. That's for sure. If we stay up.
Liam saying
if Bolton stay down, you go down, then maybe you could still get it.
Oh no, I don't want to go down.
If Liam said if we lose tomorrow, it won't be the end of the world because we won't get relegated. We could be worse. Could be like Bristol Rovers or Rochdale.
Hey, Liam, don't worry, mate. We're beating you on Saturday. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, you two have got each other on Saturday when we've got.
Yes, I can't wait.
I actually can't wait to actually. You know what? For the first time since I've done these EFL shows, I actually can't wait to be the man that's in between the drama, whoever wins or not, and not hardly say a word. Because I know you guys are going to dominate the show next Monday. You guys are going to dominate the show next Monday, and I'll be happy with 3 points.
You'll find a way. You'll find a way of getting into my wrath. Don't worry about that. Chris,
I know with all your agendas. If Bristol Rovers win, I'm going to lap you up as well.
You don't know all of them. I have many of them. I think Cambridge won't be in the top 3 once everyone on the same amount of games. Paul Mullin FC.
24 goals for him at Cambridge.
Yeah, well done, Paul.
Oh, this is a big game for Sunderland. Sunderland, Aki, and then Lincoln. That's an important week.
And they got Hull and Peterborough coming up as well. And that's when they got Hull and Peterborough coming up as well. So Sunderland's got the toughest running because they've got Hull and Peterborough coming up as well in the next few weeks. So they're going to have some tough games.
Liam saying, Charlie, we will beat you unless you have the ref on your side, which you did. Mate, have you seen our defence? It's like a prostitute with open legs. Let's not antagonise them. Right, but I do want to finish up on the games. Morecambe losing 3-1. Absolutely love
Kevin
seeing
Ellison,
Derek Adams'
what a
game.
bloke. What a bloke.
I actually love him now. Absolutely screaming in Adams' face. It was brilliant. Adams' face shit himself. To be brutally
42
honest.
he is as well. 42 Ellison still playing.
Well done, Kevin. I think he's been playing longer than James Coppinger as well. So well done to Kevin Ellison.
Because find a way to bring James Coppinger in here. Go get him a Zimmer.
No. The reason why I brought Coppinger in this is because he's being honoured by the Freedom of Doncaster Award. The mayor's giving it the Freedom of Doncaster Award. It's basically like the Medal of Freedom, well, a local Medal of Freedom. It's like the highest honour in the town. So it's like he's getting the highest honour in the town, which is good for him. It's good for Doncaster.
Who'd want to get freedom in
Bristol, mate?
No. The reason it's called Freedom of Doncaster, but it's the highest award honour that you can get in a town. So it's great for him.
What is Liam on about Bristol? Why the hell is he calling us Bristol?
Bristol is better than Bristol City, so we can't even talk.
But Rovers will beat us 3-0 and lose their next game.
Yeah, probably.
Let's not start antagonising each other. Right. Loan watch quickly.
Yes, should we move on to loan watch?
It would be a good shout because we do need to wrap up quite quickly. Ethan Laird, quiet game for him, really.
Baller.
It was a very quiet game.
He's a great player, but it was an odd quiet game. But I know he'll get back to doing some more stuff in the next few games. Just make sure it's not against us on the Tuesday next week. Just apart from that, you can go and play ball everywhere else.
Yeah, Ryan Longman, another one who had a very quiet week. No,
he come off the bench. He come off the bench. He come off the bench.
Brighton will learn that again next season.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Luke McCormick, how's he getting on?
Yeah, he was unlucky not to score. He probably had our best chance in the first half. Good save by the keeper, but yeah, he's doing well. And last week there was talks of Millwall and a few other Championship clubs in for him. So I really want to sign him permanently because I think his contract's up at Chelsea. But nowhere near me, he'll probably go to a Championship club. But yeah, pretty good performance.
Yeah, Ian Matson on loan at Charlton, 2 clearances, 3 tackles. He was very involved. A lot of key passes.
I'll vouch for him. He did a good job, and he's starting to show Chelsea what he can do. And hopefully he gets that first team football in a few years. So I think for Charlton they've got a nice young up and coming defender to help grow his talent. And this is the great thing about League One: build that talent.
Yeah. Liam Miller, also another good game from him.
Really good game.
Is absolutely ridiculous. It was like
his pass accuracy was probably better than some Premier League strikers. He was brilliant.
It's on a different level.
Hopefully he doesn't turn up tomorrow.
Matt Smith though had a quiet game, nothing to scream about.
You know what? To be fair, no, it was all right. It was all right, but he got brought off for the Spanish Granit Xhaka, so it wasn't exactly his best moment of his career. But no, it was all right.
I was on about. I should be more specific. The Matt Smith from Charlton on loan from Arsenal. Now to your Matt Smith. How did your Matt Smith go on?
Okay. Yeah, I see the confusion now. I think, again, our Matt Smith was just all right. Got brought off for the Spanish Granit Xhaka. I think that he can do better. I know we can do better, but you know what? He had a decent game. He kept the midfield quite quiet sometimes, but it was just the overall game being very end to end and not many chances coming in from both teams. So it was just a quiet game, but I know we can do better. And I know once he gets bossed up back to full fitness by the weekend, he'll have that partnership back again. But for now, he'll have to make do with either Robertson or Gomez on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Spanish Granit
Xhaka.
Ryan Edmonton on loan at Northampton. Bit of a poor game from him, really. He was
rubbish. It was like watching Jose Mourinho kick a ball at 50 years old. He was absolutely pathetic playing in reverse. It was like UK Horizons, UK Gold. He was playing fast. He was playing rewind. It was awful in my opinion. I think Northampton fans will probably say he was probably best to. And he got the yellow card as well, which summed up his game. It summed up his game completely.
Yeah. Callum Connolly on loan from Everton at Fleetwood, defender. I'm pretty sure centre back or something. Something like that. I know he's in the back line I know he's in the back line somewhere. He had 2 clearances, 5 block shots, and 2 interceptions. Not a
great player. Great player and a good game. I mean, considering he's actually a CDM, but at Fleetwood they moved him into centre back like last season, and he's been class.
Yeah. Troy Parrott, 1 goal, well done. Jerome Apoku, dog shit. Keelan Watts, dog shit, and
next
Adam Lewis, dog shit.
Next Harry Kane.
So next, moving on to Alex Palmer on loan from West Brom at Lincoln.
He had a shocker. He had a shocker in my opinion.
He had an all right game.
He made a couple of good saves, but at least one of the Rochdale goals he should have done better with, in my opinion. Watching the highlights back, and I just think that Alex Palmer he'll do better. I know he can, but in my opinion, in that game, he didn't do well sometimes. It was a very 50-50 game for him, in my opinion.
Wasn't his best game, but it wasn't his worst. A fairly commanding performance. And Morgan Rogers, obviously on loan from Man City at Lincoln.
Well, it was the only shining light from that Lincoln game for Lincoln. Absolutely world class.
Yeah, one shot, one goal. I mean,
and it was probably up there for goal. It's probably up there for goal of the season, which shows that he's clinical and he can pull off those world class finishes. So he's going to be a great talent. And he came from West Brom to Man City. West Brom just let go of another generational talent.
Yeah, and then there was only one lad who played on loan in League Two this week, and that is obviously Jamie Cumming, on loan from Chelsea at Stevenage. Another great performance, clean sheet.
Yeah, 0-0 draw, I think it was as well. So
commanded his box very well in my opinion.
I can't remember who Stevenage were playing against. I can't remember who they were playing against.
I think it was 0-0. Was it 0-0?
Yeah, it was 0-0. I just can't remember who they played. Because if it was one of those teams that are up there, I think again Jamie Cummings is proving once again how vital he is as a youth star for Chelsea.
That was one game I didn't write down. Probably could have finished 0-0.
Yeah, and you know what? This is a moment right now. I'm actually going to go back on my word from last week. I think Cummings deserves a move to another club instead of staying in the Chelsea youth. I think I agree with you both. I'm going to go back on my word and apologise for that because I think he deserves it.
Are you admitting that me and Charlie are right? Yeah.
Pretty much.
Get the banners and the party hats. You're right, and I'm wrong.
Indiana, that needs clipping as well. We'll go through some comments here as well.
Just in case Cummings has a poor performance and goes back into the Chelsea youth system, just in case I am right. But yeah, I do agree with you. I was wrong.
Indiana freedom of Doncaster, we saying what happens
freedom of Doncaster, salute boy.
What happens if you get the freedom? Do you walk everywhere and everyone moves out of the way? Indiana saying
freedom, it means you're more important than Sunderland.
Indiana saying probably have the power to walk sheep over a bridge or something.
Hang on. Breaking news. I've just seen on a group chat, breaking news. The Ipswich takeover might be failing.
No,
unlucky.
It's been
unlucky.
It's been on and off for ages, hasn't it? Liam saying, oh God, Liam, stop antagonising him. We are at home versus Bristol Rovers, so we should be beating you, Carlisle, Charlie, because our home record is very good, apart from losing to Ipswich, Rochdale, etc. It's been our home record. I mean, yeah, but recently it's been absolutely dreadful. But Ryan Lowe will come out and say after the game tomorrow and say, we will work to get the players ready for the next game. We'll work on these mistakes. Same old Ryan Lowe where he can't.
And you know what? That was the worst thing about Darren Moore. That's the worst thing with Darren Moore sometimes, because he would go on and say, well, we'll go to the next one, and he never actually purposely went in on him. When we drew with Northampton on the Saturday, Andy Butler said, I'm not sugarcoating this, that was awful, and these players know the standards we set at the club and they need to work better at that. So he's not going to, he doesn't sugarcoat that result. Darren Moore will say, oh, well, on to the next one. And that's what I'll probably say about that loss to Norwich, top of the league. You'll say, oh, well, on to the next one. You're going to go down. Accept it, pal.
We say he ain't on loan, but can we have a minute to show Luke O'Neill some appreciation?
Mate,
you know what? I'll give him my respect.
Reece, just saying, mate, in a couple of weeks when we play you at home, we're going to beat you, because yesterday you were crap. Just saying.
Please do, Charlie. But you know what? I'll give my respect to Luke O'Neill. I'll give my respect to him. He deserves a 3-year deal at that club.
He is good. Very good player.
But beat him. Please beat Sunderland, because we can go ahead of them. Please. I'm begging you.
We will. Don't worry. It's
and you've got Sunderland, I think, as well, Niall. I think you've got Sunderland as well coming up.
We've already beat them.
Well, beat the rivals so we can go ahead of both of them.
You want us to beat people?
Yeah, come on. Johnny's got to actually beat people, you know.
You want us
you almost got the win against us. If we bet for clinical finishing, you would have got the win against us.
Yeah, and if my granddad, if my uncle didn't have a dick, he'd be my flaming auntie. But that's all ifs and buts, and I don't do ifs and buts. We're currently going through the same form that we had back in December or something like that, which was absolute dog shit. And
you've got to go
you got any more clubs you want to insult, or? Yeah.
First of all, what I will say is first thing I will say is I support AFC Bury, not Bury FC owned by Steve Dale. So I think all the fans from Bury FC are now AFC Bury fans because they don't want to support Steve Dale's profit club.
No, they just want
They're
their
AFC
club
Bury
back.
fans. They're at the Phoenix Club.
Yeah, but they just want their club back. Like, I don't think they
Oh yeah,
want to do
100%. And
AFC
AFC
Bury.
Bury,
They just want Bury
in my
FC
opinion,
back.
AFC Bury is the way to. I don't know. AFC Bury is the way to do it, in my opinion, because you're not going to sell the actual Bury FC anymore. They're not going to sell it because they're not in a league at the minute. They're still in masses of debt. AFC Bury is the way they're going to have to go. They started this Phoenix club and they've had to. They're going to start growing that club. And to be fair, when they stopped the non-league football, they were top of the league by a couple of points in their division. So they were already growing on the rise. And you look at Macclesfield as well. They've made this Macclesfield FC. They're starting to grow at the minute. And, there's a resurgence, shall we say, of clubs. I think with the clubs like the Hereford United and the Darlingtons that have gone under it over the last few years, there's been a resurgence with the likes of Hereford FC growing and people like that. And I think overall, I think the AFC Bury is going to grow again. I think AFC Bury is going to grow again. But if you want me to insult any more clubs, I'll just say this: Man United shouldn't have beat West Ham. I think they were just passing.
Why are we starting to get into Premier League talk now?
Innit? Premier's dead. Premier's dead.
Right.
Premier's dead. League One's where the passion is.
Sure, yeah, something like that. We saying Samuel played good yesterday. Luke O'Neill, I met him. He's not a footballer. He's legit so humble and such a nice man. Agenda I see.
And that's what we're missing at the top level. That's what we're missing at the top level. Top level football doesn't have enough humble people.
Yeah, Indiana saying that someone's got an agenda. Probably Aaron, or me, or Charlie.
Niall's got an agenda.
I really want me and Niall to be happy this time next week, please.
Yeah, you're going to be very sad,
and Rovers. Would be great 6 points to win, but our away record is as useful as wheels on a car.
Same as us,
Always
mate.
Breaks down. Breaks down.
Our away record is awful, and our last away win, I think, was maybe Lincoln or Shrewsbury, which was about 4 months ago. So
yeah. And you know what? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I won't sugarcoat it either. If I could describe our home and away record, it is literally our home record is Jesus and our away record is Lucifer. That is what I'd describe it as.
Yeah.
What an interesting analogy. Another one for Indiana.
I'm full of them. I'm full of them, and the club likes them. The club supports these analogies. So massive shout out to Doncaster Rovers for supporting my content.
Big shout out to Plymouth Argyle. For doing something. I don't know what you've done, but you'll do something soon. But we have come to the end of the show. As you can see, Aaron has been in a very good mood. If you're a Bury fan or anyone else that Aaron's insulted over the past stream, his Twitter is what? What's your Twitter, bro?
Should I say now?
Go on.
Oh, absolutely.
Go on, then.
I think you definitely should.
Yeah, you know what? Screw it. It's I'm trying to remember it now. It's basically just at Aaron Challoner, AaronChalloner, all lowercase, all one word with the ats, and just bury me. Just bury me.
Absolutely, please do. Especially if you're a Bury fan, he may have upset you.
Yeah, Bury fans, bury me. Bury me like Steve Dale buried your club.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God, mate. I can't even bear. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Aaron, mate, that is disgusting.
That is disgraceful.
That is a disgrace.
Charlie, where can they find you not upsetting other people's clubs?
Wow. I'll just take a moment because that was awful from Aaron there. But yeah, you can go and find me on Twitter, One Rovers Vlogs, which is down below, and also One Rovers Vlogs on YouTube. Only about 300 away from 2,000 subscribers, so it would be appreciated.
It's nearly as big as your capacity, isn't it?
But yeah, mate, I'm more like Doncaster's own form. Or gate.
Is there room to expand Bristol Rovers Stadium? I'm generally interested.
No, I mean it's been talk going on for ages, but it's meant to be going over the other side of Bristol. So
I was going to say I heard about a new stadium, but I didn't know when that year was coming.
Mate, it's literally been going on since I was about 5 years old, so nearly 20 years. So yeah.
So basically, they've got no hopes of expanding.
Don't ask me. Ask on board.
And you can find me at Nile_PAFC chatting some shit about some Premier League club. And you can also find me at Let's Talk Premier League on YouTube. I'll be there at 8:30 tonight doing the weekly review show. Great content over there. And just it's just banter, really. It's no holds barred banter.
Yeah.
You can also find us on TikTok at Let's Talk Premier League, and I think there's even the Twitter page coming up. So you can find us on pretty much every platform. And a big up to everyone that obviously follows us there. Also, make sure you've subscribed to Indiana's channel here on the First 11.
Big up Ryan as well in the chat.
Big up to Ryan as well.
Big up to everyone in the chat, because you've all been really supportive of this channel. Everyone, and please keep following the First 11. Keep subscribing. Keep liking the content, and we'll be keeping delivering these no hold bars banter. There's no truth in the banter. There's just no holds barred at the minute.
Not sure about that.
No. There's no truth behind it. I've been ever since this whole thing with Bury came out a couple of years ago, I've always been behind the fans. I've always stood up for clubs that have bad ownership. So there's no truth in the banter. It's just a bit of banter. But obviously in truth, I do stick with the Bury fans. And Steve Dale, get out of football because you suck at business.
Aaron has literally turned, he has shoved his car into reverse and he is flying backwards.
I knew that banter at Bury was over the line, so I've shoved it up the exhaust pipe and driven it away into the sunset.
Oh, your analogies do make me laugh. But yeah, tomorrow there is the Next Gen here, which is going to be a great show. No idea who's hosting it, but make sure you give them the same support that you've given us tonight. We'll be back again next Monday. I'll be in Russia if you need me. Hopefully they don't have any internet, because Vladimir Putin defends his people better than our defends their own goals.
Trust me. If we don't get a result on Tuesday and Saturday, I'm going to be stuck in -15, wanting to go through Siberian levels of cold just to try and prove I'm a better defender or a better attacker than some of our players. If we don't score on Tuesday.
Liam, big up to Liam in the chat, fellow Janner, talking something about capacities. Our capacity is 18,000, buddy. But ours
is about 15,000 with the possible expansion to 30,000 if we get our Premier League football at some point.
Our expansion is 46,000, so big up to ours.
Wow. Stadium of light capacity.
Yeah, wow. Well, if you've been to Owen Park, you'll see that pretty much around us is pretty much nothing.
I was going to say, if you do expand to 46,000, are you going to do what Sunderland do if you expand to 36,000 and stick the away fans up in the top tier so no one can hear them?
I've suggested, if you know Home Park, I suggested, our new grandstand we built.
Yeah.
I suggested shoving them in the corner on the undercover.
Nah, mate, we're not going in there, mate. We're not going in there.
Yeah,
not going in there.
The reason I suggested that was because then the horseshoe can be all Argyle fans. It means no away fans behind any of the goals, which means that the other teams don't get the advantage of kicking to their own fans.
Just put Argyle fans around the stadium and just stick the away fans down underneath the stand in the back alleyways.
Or that works for me as well. But that is the end of the show. We'll be back again next Monday at, I think 6:30 actually seems to be quite a good one. So we'll probably be
back here. Rovers. Make me happy on Monday. Week. Make me happy on Monday.
And make sure that you go check out all the other shows. The offside ball last week was absolutely,
that is brilliant.
Quality, mate. There were some hilarious shows last week.
All I'll say is blue pills. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, blue pills, blue pills, and 15% off.
Yeah, make sure. If you want to know what blue pills and 15% off means, go check out that show from last week, because it was.
And speaking of 15%, if Magic Gomez doesn't turn up tomorrow, it's going to be buy one get Magic Gomez absolutely free.
And we'll leave it there. Everyone, thank you for watching, and